Because if I just use YouTube, it gets pulled up by OBS because I'd have to do like a window capture and I have to do a bunch of different shit. The way I had Spotify set up was that it could play all of my background music for the stream, but nothing would be recorded because I had it going through different pieces. But now I just won't play, so now I got to figure out what's going on with that. What?
Split audio.
Yeah, I have the split audio going, but it's not playing the songs. I can play it on my web player without a fucking problem, um, but it won't play on my desktop app for some reason, and it's very annoying.
Did that go through?
Yes, that went through fine, Jenna. That's not the audio problem that we're having here. Thank you.
That I'm the receiving end this time.
I just wanted to make sure your samplers were working. I was being a good friend.
Mm-hmm. Send you to fucking orbit is what I should do.
No orbit.
Listen, we may be at episode 41, but if you don't think I will TPK your ass.
Oh, you probably will.
Oh, 100%.
I know we're almost at 2 years of a campaign.
Yeah.
July will be 2 years, I think.
Yep. Just about. So, let's talk hags as where we were last time. So, our dear players, when you entered St. Radrick, you were faced with a very normal looking town. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing seeming to be too strange, just very meh. Just nothing really stood out. You ran into a sheep who spoke to Creed, who then Creed then executed for mutton behind the tavern after buying it off the shepherd, which then turned out to be not a sheep at all, but a redcap. A spirit of murder summoned from the Feylands, and now the veneer of the facade that had wrapped around his eyes dropped. And he could clearly see where you were standing in of St. Radrick had been ravaged by war and famine and plague, of that the denizens that you sat and drank within the tavern were nothing but husks. The others that seemed to walk around were either glassy-eyed or just not all upstairs, so to speak. One by one, all of you seem to break through this trance in some way, shape, or form, whether through sheer ignorance, sheer luck, or something else. Aura seemed to break through it, and then was able to simply dissuade it from her mind through sheer ignorance. Adarian broke through it because he sensed something was odd about the ale he was being served. Okros was there with Creed when he slayed the sheep, which broke him from his, and the only one that wasn't broken was Nez, who, when you were all currently quarreling and talking about what to do next, as well as dealing with the sudden arrangement of people outside of the tavern, as the townspeople had walked out and formed two lines on the other side of the street, seeming to wait for something. And as you looked around for Nez, as you realized it had been quiet, Lucifer began to beep rapidly in a panicked tone as you saw that him and Balder were now both missing. And so you decided to deal with the problem currently at hand. You stepped outside, or at least one of you did, to see this procession coming down the street from east to west. A large opulent carriage being drawn by large stock horses, coming and stopping between every set of houses, as the denizens of this city waited with arms outstretched with tithes and trinkets and offerings for whomever was in the carriage. And as the carriage stopped at every pair of houses, buildings, if you will, a number of redcaps jumped out of the carriage, ran into the house across the street from each other, and dragged anyone still inside out, as Aura warned you all that she was hearing a voice, followed by the sound of a bell. And it seemed that these redcaps were meant to find those who had not quite fallen in line and would be made an example of. As the one that you saw get dragged out of the house that he was in was placed in front of the carriage to be judged, as a large grotesque arm came out of the carriage itself, pushed its iron claw or talon into the forehead of the person brought before them, deeming them unworthy of her forgiveness, which at point he was then slain, his throat slit as the redcaps began to dance around him, catching the blood in their hats as it needs for them to survive. The procession continued, and the cycle repeated, until it came to you. This is where a choice was made. A choice of what to do about the situation, as you all had stepped out to face the coming procession. The fight began with a guiding bolt that was thrown towards the carriage with great haste, somehow missed the creature inside the carriage, went through the curtains, and slammed into a civilian standing on the side of the road, reducing him to ashes. And then the rest of the fight began. As you saw the 12 redcaps step out, blades in hand, coming forth to collect their pound of flesh from you, in this essence, as a tall, regal, beautiful woman stepped out of the carriage. Holding a long sword in one hand, she seemed to ask the question of, what are you doing to her city? Why are you stopping the tithe from being paid? Now, the only one of you that could see this for what it was Aura. She saw this regal woman and was confused, concerned. The rest of you saw a grotesque hag. Hunchbacked, boiled skin, barky, chitinous plating, and just long, gnarled iron claws coming out of her fingertips as she ripped a long sword in her hand that seemed to have been rusted and cracked from years of use. The veil she had placed on herself was well put, but as she began to fight, or began to question what was going on, more and more so as she was trying to figure out why you were all fighting someone so regal. It made no sense. And then when it finally came close enough to attack her, she bit it. And that's where the veil broke for her. Where now all of a sudden what was in front of her was no longer that regal lady, but again was a hag, as the toxic blood it sprayed into her mouth poisoned her and brought her to her knees for a moment. This fight continued, and it was long and well drawn out, as the hag seemed to give you guys a bit of trouble. And when she was finally slain, that's when the problems began. As the now denizens who stood there simply like statues down both sides of the street began to encircle you. Not in a vicious manner, mind you. Not in a malicious way, mind you, but in a way that seemed to corral you in one direction, forming a U shape towards the east, towards the fortress that laid in the center of the city, where the hag you slayed told you that the coven would be waiting, her sister queens. Now, you knew that Nez and Balder were probably there, but God knows what else was there too. And so, against your better judgment that you've used before, you ran quickly Okros carrying the injured ones of your party, the rest of you running as quickly as humanly possible or otherworldly possible towards the outskirts to get away from not only the now what seems to be entranced denizens, but now also the threat of death from whatever creature controls this city. And that's where we start today. As where the three of you, Okros having been incapacitated for the time being, and Nez being missing, sit near an abandoned building on the western side, trying to figure out a plan on how to get your friends back. And that is where we cut away to Nez. You blacked out, for the lack of a better term. You remember at one point you were standing with your friends in the tavern, drinking and having a time of relaxation as you saw them begin to almost panic, and in a moment before any of their words sat inside your mind, you disappeared. And you found yourself in this strange barred room. Now, it looked well furnished enough to be something of a penthouse suite almost. It had a beautiful bed, fantastic armchairs. It had rugs on the floor, even though the floor and walls were made of stone. It seemed cozy. You had braziers along the wall that lit it in this nice amber orange glow. Decadent foods on the table. The only difference here is that the door that led out was iron bars with a lock, much like that of a jail cell. And through a small window, you could see that the room next to yours, that looked just as lavishly put together, held Balder, who now seemed to be sleeping soundly on the bed. You hear a knock on your cage door as a tall, very sharp-featured blonde woman walks in. Has to be mid-50s, piercing blue eyes, shapely body in a very silver, almost diamond-esque shiny dress. Her arms are well strong like that of a seamstress. Her chin has a little bit of an angle to it as her regal features kind of hold it up towards you. She steps in, and you can clearly see that she has what looks to be a wand made of what looks to be twisted willow branches, all kind of put together, well worn, well maintained, well taken care of. And she sees you. And as she steps in, she goes, "Ah, Nez, you're awake. Wonderful. I have wanted to meet you for quite some time. And now you're here. Now I hope that you have found your accommodations to be accommodating, that they are all up to what exactly a specimen of your caliber would need. If anything seems to be lacking, by all means, please ask, and I will get it for you without hesitation, as you are a guest here, a guest of my choosing."
So I'm a guest, but who are you?
I am the queen of this city, of St. Radric. You can call me Priscilla. I am the elder sister queen, as there are a number of us, and we all dictate different facets of it. Three of my sisters currently right now are out in the streets collecting the tithes of our ruling from the populace. To make it easier, of course, than simply collecting taxes, we collect trinkets, memories, odds and ends, things that we can use through our own magics to fix what is broken. And so, being the eldest, being the one that is the head of this organization, it is my duty to welcome you and your compatriot here. Though your compatriot seems different, odd, not of this place. He seems to have a very strange custom to him. But it is no matter. You can, of course, simply call me Your Highness, Queen Priscilla, things along that nature. We'll keep it professional for what it is, even though that you are a guest here, is that I still have my crown to keep. I imagine you have questions, so please, ask.
What exactly do you need me for? This town seems pretty well off. What could I even do to support it?
You, my dear Nez, are a eccentric mind, an intelligent one that is always building new things, figuring out ways of things to happen, to work. I need you to help me with something important. You see, as you and I both know, you are an adventurer. You carry the band of the resistance. I know your markings well. I simply wish to put back together something that could potentially win this fight. Something that you've seen before, but you see, I don't have the magical proprietary knowledge that you do. It's simply not something up my alley, and so I wanted to see what your brain had to offer, see what's in that delicious head of yours.
Let's see. Can I do um I feel like it's like something's off. Gotta do like an insight check.
Yep, go ahead.
What do you mean delicious?
That's really where it's like why I'm coming in with like my character
She's
wants to
gonna
go ahead and do like an insight on this.
Yeah.
she's gonna Hansel she's gonna Hansel and Gretel his ass.
Hold on. I'm gonna flash this. So that will make it a 16.
By that meaning, you can tell that she does want to see your ideas. She does not want to eat you, that you can tell.
All right.
From the corner of his eye, he just sees her do like the comical massive tongue comes out, goes all the way around the lips very noisily.
Yeah, no, when he said head, I was like, oh yeah, I bet she does want his head.
Okay. But enough of the peanut gallery. Sorry, continue.
To continue on. So Your Highness, where's my Lucifer?
Oh, your companion, your little thing. I unfortunately did not have enough hands to bring him with me. He seemed to be relatively anchored to where he was, and so I imagined that your friends would wish to come and see what you have done, and so I gave him a set of instructions to lead them here. That way, they would know where to find you when the time arrives. That way you never be that far from them.
Good job, Lucifer.
Oh, so that's well, he is always good at listening and coming back. What do you have questions of me for possibly help you?
You see, it's of a magical invention, so to speak, something that could be used to end this war, something that could stop these godlike beings from ruining everything that we've built. I know that you have fought them in the past. It's just that I don't have the same understanding of the magical weave that binds everything together to really create something beyond. You have both the magical prowess as well as the mechanical knowledge to build something, or at least in this case, repair something that could help this problem. And so I asked for you and brought you here without a second thought once I realized that you were in town with your friends. Now, of course, your other compatriot, I believe he said his name was Balder, seems to be sleeping off quite a hangover, and he will join us. I will need his hands for the other parts of the repairs eventually, as he's significantly stronger than anyone else I've seen. But as for now, your mind and your talents will suit what I require of you, very much so. So, I ask you this. You help me fix this device, fix this problem we both have. And not only will I give you goods and such for doing such a thing, maybe a few of those artifacts you and your friends like to carry around so much, those magical items, or maybe even giving you a boon of my own magics. But then also the war ends. And you can go home. Or if you refuse, or if you wish to have more time, you can simply stay in here until you decide otherwise. Simple.
Uh, I mean, I don't even know if I can fix a device that I don't even know what it is, or even seen it yet.
But isn't spontaneity and the unknown half the reason you became an artificer? Discovering objects that don't quite have a place in what you know. I've seen the machines you've worked on, the great war machines of Ravenholm. Those were magnificent, and some of the things that you've created even for your friends have been beyond normal means. I have no doubt in my mind they'd be able to fix this problem.
Well, where's the device at?
Ah, before I show you anything, you need to agree that you will come and you will try to fix this device to end the war that has taken so much from you and your friends and this countryside and everything that I hold dear. And you will continue to try, and you will continue to try until you succeed, however long that takes. Or if you refuse, you simply stay in here until you attempt anyways. But if you succeed, that is where the rewards will come through, but you will not see the device until you agree to try.
Even though I'm a guest, it sounds like I'm trapped until I agree to repair it.
Trapped is such a strong word. It's more of a, this is for the betterment of both you and Etheria. There really is no other choice.
I will take some time to think about it.
Very well. you have your provisions and your foods here, and you have your bed and such, your basic amenities, anything that you require, things to work on, to bide your mind, to busy yourself, please simply ask one of the gods or servants that passes by, and they will simply bring it to you. Of course, within reason, we will not simply give you something to allow you to leave without attempting to save this world you've come to love so much. But of course, I will give you all the time you require. Just remember, I am but a bell ring away. And so she turns and walks out of the room. The door shuts behind her, and you hear multiple thunks through the walls as the door closes, telling you that it is now locked. And you are left alone in your room.
Yes. Do I still have like all my items?
Yep.
Can I? Can I like inspect the door to see if how it's locked?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, 13.
You see that it is a door that is locked. To you, it seems relatively normal, but something tells you in the back of your mind that it is anything but.
And then you said I could see Boulder.
Yep, through a small barred window that sits between your two rooms.
I want to go over to the window and say, "Hey, Boulder, wake up!"
Ugh. Fuck off, you tiny bold bastard.
Do you even know this castle that we're in, or whatever we're in? Since it was a queen that just came to talk to me.
I wasn't right paying attention to whoever was coming to entertain your fucking lines there, Niz. I was kind of busy taking a fucking sleep from this raging hangover I have as I was trying to live it up, if you will, after being trapped in a fucking beam of energy for the past 3 weeks. So, excuse me if I didn't see exactly everything that happened in your room all at once.
Well, I guess I'll leave you alone then.
But no, I don't know anything about this fucking castle. All I know is that the bed is soft, the food is free, the ale is flowing, and I am tired. So your guess is as good as mine. I've never heard of this Queen Priscilla, but if something's changed here, I wasn't exactly paying attention to it. I was too busy fucking around with my own hubris.
I appreciate what you could tell me. I'm gonna get back to thinking about this now.
Yeah, don't think too fucking loudly, alright? He just kind of
No.
he just rolls over in his bed.
It's like one of my helping hands is gonna come out, like to point at him, and then go, not worth it. And wave it down.
Just the helping hand comes out, you're like holding it back, like no, not yet, not yet.
Basically, so if there's still food in the room, I'm gonna eat the food.
Yep, it tastes like food.
And think of why would she take me and like Balder and not the rest? Well, we were all together, basically.
That is a tough question, is it not? So, as you ponder in your room, doing a big Nez think. We swing back to the rest of our party that is currently still sitting outside the abandoned house. And they see Lucifer kind of rolling, well, not rolling, crawling up to them, chirping.
What do you want, Lucifer? We gotta figure out how to go get your dad.
He seems to run up to you and begins like the equivalent of like a dog headbutting your leg to try and get your attention.
Lucifer,
Oh.
not now.
Show us what it is. Go on.
He seems to turn and point himself at the castle and just kind of tries to chirp out a tone that Nez would be able to translate. But here it just seems like a bunch of different sounds all at once. You really can't put together what it is, but he just keeps pointing at the castle and then pointing at the road leading to it.
I was gonna look at Creed and be like, should we follow him? He seems to want us to go a certain direction, but I don't know if I want to go in there again.
Well, if we want to see Nezabalda again, I would assume it is our best bet. So, and creates a little flourishing wave. Lead the way, Lucifer.
With a number of happy chirps, Lucifer begins moving his way down the road towards the gate you guys ran through, towards a side street that went beyond and behind the tavern, away from the denizens that still seem to be standing in the middle of the road, glassy-eyed and unfazed.
Bloody wonderful. And Creature's gonna follow Lucifer.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
you continue to follow Lucifer, the four of you, if Okros is here, you guys begin following him down some side roads that lead you away from the denizens that Lucifer seems to have very good knowledge of. Even at some points, Lucifer's halting you as you see a number of what look to be the same faraway stare look guards that roll past the alleyway and continue down continue down the street, almost as if he knows their patrol routes somehow. And he eventually leads you to a service entrance leading up to the castle inside the fortress.
You want us to go in there, Lucifer?
He seems to nod in his own weird turret-like way, as he seems to just kind of bounce on his clawed feet as he points towards the door.
Well, Creed, you go first.
Upwood. Creed's gonna lead the way.
All right, so you start heading up the service quarters, and the first place you wind up in is the kitchen. Once you step in, you smell a delectable smell. It smells like beautiful roasted meats and stews and ales and bread. It is all home cooked, just amazing. And it just seems that like this castle has still been well maintained. You see some, lack of a better term, serfs, servants, housekeepers, kitchen staff, whatever, milling about doing their own thing. And even as some of them turn and see you, they don't acknowledge your presence. They seem very focused on what they're doing. And on this large center table that seems to be in between all of these different stations of stoves, ovens, ranges, you have stone ovens, just cutting boards, prep tables. This just large center table seems to be where everything kind of culminates. All the food kind of sits while it's ready to be served or after it's completed, kind of just like a takeaway window almost. There seems to be a large brass pot sitting at the end of it, along with some other plates of food of fruits and roasted meats. You can tell some of it is pork, some of it is chicken, some of it's beef. There's some veal, there's some duck. Like, you can have all these smells are coming through you. Some of these that none of you have had in years because of the war. Yet here in this castle, they seem to be feasting on food stuff that is, exquisite. And because all three of you have broken the veil, you would know if it was all rotten. And it doesn't seem that way. It seems actual food. It seems actually good.
I'm still not eating it. Well, looks like they got quite the spread, hey?
Creed's gonna stop and just close his eyes, taking deep breaths.
Creed, you're gonna drool on
That
yourself.
takes me back.
Creed, don't go drooling on yourself now.
When is the last time I smelled something as delicious as this all smells? It's been a very long time.
Well, we're not here for the food. We're here to find our friends and get them back out.
I'm so conflicted about this, but I have to agree with Aura Creed. I think we need to keep moving forward.
Are there any like loaves of bread sitting out?
Yes, plenty. A lot.
Is Creed about to steal a loaf of bread?
A loaf.
What happened to... I'm a
Man
good
is
person.
loading his backpack with loaves of bread. He's
Yeah.
that dude at the restaurant where they bring out the breadsticks and he's just got a sack and he's stuffing all the breadsticks into the stack right now.
Yeah,
You
no,
said it was unlimited.
Creed's grabbing 2 loaves of bread, and he's gonna like stuff them in his satchel.
Yeah, they're 2 loaves of very well-made sourdough bread.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes at him.
Probably smart, honestly.
And
Look,
as
I
you
know that Okros does what he can, but fresh bread is fresh bread, man.
Okra would be offended.
I think he'd probably understand, honestly. But actually, let's be honest here. He'd probably be stuffing everything else into his backpack, so yeah.
He'd be taking... You're right, he'd be taking the spices.
Okros would be the guy who shows up with the sack and just puts his arm on the table and sweeps it all in.
Like the magic tablecloth trick, only instead of pulling the cloth out for everything, he just pulls everything on the table into the sack in one yank.
Okay, boys, focus. Focus, focus. We gotta go find our friends. You got your bread? Let's go.
Fine.
So as you take the loaves, no one really seems to notice or care. Even one of the bakers looks at you and nods, gives you a gentle smile as you walk away with the 2 loaves in your hand before putting them into your backpack. And you see that there are a couple of doors. There's a door to your far left, and there's a door to your right. Both of them seem to be slightly open. One shows about staying on the same level, which is the one on your left, and the one on your right shows stairs going up.
All right, so
Creed, where are we going?
about where did we come in?
Based
Like,
off the map on a very general stasis, you came in on the southwestern side.
well, I meant like elevation wise. Did we come in through like a servant's door?
Yes,
Near the
you came in
bottom?
through a service entrance. You're at what you can assume is the one of the lower levels of the castle,
If that's the case,
like ground floor, not like
yeah.
basement.
I believe our best bet is to go up.
Okay, Muffin Man, let's go.
All right, so you guys go up, and as you go up the spiral staircase. Seems like nothing is out of the ordinary as you do. You go up what feels to be a couple of floors. And as you come out to the top, you see that you are now in what looks to be a general, I don't want to say barracks or basically it's a place where people would go to sleep in here. Like it's not the servants' quarters. It's just like, it's the like rent a bed area. It's the guest rooms. There you go. It's the guest wing. So you have a lot of bedrooms that seem to kind of spread out down the different hallways. You're kind of coming out on a catty corner, and you see that there are some servants and guards kind of walking. But again, they see you, they acknowledge you, and they don't really do anything about it. And you just see that there are 8 rooms kind of going to your right, 4 on either side of the hallway, and then to your left on a 9-degree curve, there's another 8 rooms.
Okay,
Most
boys,
of the
I would
doors
like
are
to
open.
Boys, I would like to point out we have never been in a building where we weren't attacked upon sight, so this is weird.
Gonna keep going up if we can.
The stairs ended here. There may be more stairs to other specific areas, but this seems to be where the kitchen brings the food up to those who are staying here.
And the beds look like they've been slept in.
Of those where the doors are wide open, no. Of those that the doors are slightly ajar, it seems that some of them may have been recently slept in. It's hard to tell. There are a few what look to be elves and pixies and such kind of cleaning the different rooms, kind of fluttering up and down the hallways.
I have a question. When you say elves, you mean like elves?
Yeah.
Like humanoid elves.
Yeah, humanoid elves. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was more concerned when he said pixies.
Am I missing something?
Pixies are dangerous and annoying.
The only pixie I've ever encountered was inside of a jar, and I'm pretty sure someone murdered that pixie, so.
Smart, honestly.
But they're so cute and adorable, and yeah.
Yeah, until they hex you into something permanently. No
Well,
pixies.
don't make them angry.
For that campaign, I was lawful neutral. Didn't really care.
Oh,
Not
was
my
someone
pig, not
mute?
my farm.
I didn't pick up on that.
No. Kree's gonna tend to get the attention of one of the elves. I don't suppose you speak common.
But of course I do. As she turns and she is folding what looks to be towels in her hand as she sets it down on this large wooden cart that's kind of rolling up and down. As you can kind of tell, this is a like pseudo housekeeper's cart. And she goes, of course I speak common. I work here in St. Radrick in the castle. I haven't seen you before. You seem like you haven't rested in quite some time. Do you require assistance? A room, perhaps? What can I help you with?
If I were to offer you pay, would you be willing to give me some information?
I mean, you can simply ask. I mean, what could you possibly pay me for information? This isn't anything that where something secure happens.
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting her to just be like, yeah, ask, I'll answer your questions. Up until now, no one's just been that free with information.
Up until now, we've been shot at on sight too.
You get used to it after a while. I don't suppose you know of two strangers who appeared here recently. Potentially taken somewhere a bit fancier in the castle.
Oh, you must be referencing the two odd individuals that we just had to bring materials to. Yes. It's I believe they're in the penthouse suites. Now, I will say the penthouse suites are very nice, but they are restricted access to the queen and her sisters, as well as some of the royal guards. They're not for general walkabouts, only for those that have been assigned to those rooms or under those of the favor of the sister queens can go up there willingly.
Do we really have to save these two? They sound like they're in a luxury living situation, a penthouse.
Yes. Could you point us in the direction of someone we could talk to? Potentially get a message to them.
Of course, of course. It's if you go down this hallway here towards the center, you'll see a grand staircase that leads down to the foyer. Down there is the concierge. He is a stout dwarf with a very thick beard. It's very easy to see. He will kind of help point you in the right direction, see about getting a message to somebody. He tends to be a bit gruff around the edges, but he's a good individual. He's just been dealt a bad hand, or in this case, a bad leg.
Thank you very much for your assistance.
Of course, of course. I need to, of course, go and finish taking care of these rooms. So if you do not mind if you have anything else, please feel free to ask anyone else working here.
But of course, my apologies for bothering you.
Oh no, it is of course all of my pleasure. Thank you. And she turns and kind of goes back to folding towels. And we're being raided by Castell Rose. Welcome.
I'm gonna elbow Creed and be like, did you just really ask a elf if she speaks common?
With everything else in this damn city, I wasn't sure.
Because I'm not an elf that speaks Elvish. I believe I speak Elvish.
Listen, you're a sea monkey at best. Anyway,
I don't want
welcome,
to say it, but yeah.
Raiders.
I do speak Elvish.
Yeah, yes, we're.
That one got me.
Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Cass and everyone else. Cass, I saw that you were doing the Final Fantasy. I imagine you're doing raid stuff. How far did you get along tonight? Did you get any farther in your sequence? Have you had any luck? What's going on? I know you're trying to do your smooth brain technique, so you have to raid and run. If you want to raid and stay, you can. For those of you who don't know me, I imagine that most of you do. I am Grimmar Productions. I go by Burn. I go by Grim. I go by many names, including the Dungeon Daddy. And I do D&D. productions. Go fucking figure. I'm also moving into making LARP weapons and LARP garb with some of my friends that I've started doing shit with. So, a lot of fun with that. I'm also a writer. Look at that. I got a whole fucking trio of feathers in my cap. Anyway, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Now, to catch up those who are new viewers, our dear party here is in the castle looking for their artificer who has been taken by the queen's sister Priscilla, the eldest of 7, who has, of course, picked him for his favored mind and has put him in the penthouse suite.
6.
No, 7. It was 8.
Oh,
And so they're currently trying to find him, as well as get a message to him and find their way through here. Well, of course, Nez and Balder, his unfortunate companion, are sitting in the penthouse suite waiting for the answer to give to the eldest queen, Priscilla. So, where were we? Yes, the concierge, as Creed and Aura and Darian just asked some of what looked to be housekeeping staff of who they could talk to. Thank you for the ear destruction, Cass. Big appreciate. And so our dear party here are going to speak to the concierge downstairs. So, let us continue. Begin the theater.
I'm following her advice. Then down to the concierge.
Very good. So you go down the hallway towards the center piece that essentially is a big, round kind of auditorium, circular, adjoining center of this floor. And of course, there's a grand staircase leading down that goes down and then splits into 2 other staircases that reverse direction towards the foyer, where, of course, there is a large half-circular desk with a stout dwarf behind it. And stop gnawing on my kneecaps, Cass. I need those. I don't care if they taste like spaghetti. They're my patellas. Not on someone else's patellas. As you approach the desk, you see that what the elf was saying was true, as the dwarf is missing a leg. The leg has been, of course, been replaced by what looks to be some form of metallic appendage, almost like that of a peg leg, but with a foot on the bottom, as he simply kind of stands behind the desk on what looks to be a miniature staircase that lets him to seem taller behind it. And he looks at the 3 of you / 4 of you, if Okros joins us, and looks upon you and goes, "Yeah, what can I do you for?"
Apologies for bothering you. I was told you were the one to seek if we wanted to get a message to our associates.
Which are your associates? There's many folks that seem to stay within these walls for longer than they attain for.
The names are Nez and Balder. They were brought in not that long ago.
He picks up these tiny reading glasses, puts them on his nose as he picks up a large tome, puts it on top of the desk with a thump, and opens it and begins flicking through pages as he seems to kind of pull his head back from it as he's reading the letters. And then he goes, Nez Balder, yes, of course. The 2 in the penthouse, quite. Queen Priscilla herself has gathered them. I don't believe that you'd be able to visit them, but I could get them a message to you if you so require. They're under restricted access for the time being, as with most penthouse stays, as they are meant to keep privacy. You don't want just the regular riffraff or people that are harassing you or following you going in there. That's, of course, the whole reason why the penthouse costs a little bit extra. But, what is your message you wish to give them?
It's all a trap and you're being used.
That is not the weirdest thing I've ever had to deliver to someone in these rooms, but, well, there was that one time we had the... Never mind. I
I second that. Never mind.
Never mind. Anyway, I will deliver him this message if you so require it as so. I will write it down in this telegram card very quickly. And he writes it just in the way you said it and hands it to you and goes, is this the correct phrase you wish to be delivered to?
Yes, yes, of course. And Creed's going to like reach into his pocket and like fold up the telegram piece on and just slide it across the table, his hand on top. And it's a gold piece on the inside. I would appreciate it if you could potentially give it verbally rather than written down.
Oh, of course. Of course. I will see to it personally, of course. And he slides the telegram card over. He makes sure that the writing's good. He reads it, checks it with his eyes. As he slides it and the gold piece into his breast pocket, gives you a nod, and goes, yes. Do you require a place to stay at this point in time?
I'm gonna whisper to Creed. I'm gonna whisper to Creed.
Whisper what?
Oh, it didn't pick up. I said
It didn't pick up.
I'm gonna whisper. I'm gonna whisper to Creed and say we may as well because we still don't have our friends, but we know they're here.
I suppose if it's not too much trouble.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
think a bad idea.
Of course. He pulls out the book and he flips through it. He goes, pulls out a handkerchief, kind of covers his mouth. He goes, what were your names so I can put you in the book?
Get fake names, Creed.
Debating if this is a case where you lie or not.
Like I said, give fake names.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're asking the wrong person to lie here. And I have a great idea for this.
Why are we lying? Who are we lying to?
The
Oh, we're staying
concierge.
at the castle. We're staying in the castle. I'm trying to convince him to give them fake names.
Hang on. What is
Going back to not paying attention. Good luck with that.
similar and opposite words? My name is Faith.
I'm Leia.
Roll me deception, both of you.
Okay.
This is
pause.
a horrible idea.
I'm a Darian. Nice to meet you.
Yes! Nat 20!
I got a fucking 9.
He looks at a Darian
Leia?
and he writes the name down. He goes, yes, a Darian, of course, yes. Faith, odd name for a tiefling, but you're wearing the clothes of a paladin, so I guess that makes sense. And then, Leia, really? For a dryad?
It's my middle name.
It's your
my
middle name. I
It's my middle name.
don't
I
believe
don't go
you.
by. I don't go by my first name, sir. My name is Leia.
He kind of eyes you down as he's just like, he kind of huffs and goes, whatever you say, the customer's always right in the sense of fashion and idiocy, I guess. And he writes the name down in the book. He goes, no, I imagine your furry friend is, what's his name? The big one.
Leonard.
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 That's his name. That one. The big one behind
Yeah.
you. Roll another
Do you not
deception,
believe-
please.
Okay. Watch it work out for me this time. 15.
He raises his eyebrow again at you and goes, could you give me his real name, please? Or at least one a little bit more believable than Leonard?
His name is Black.
His name is Suichet.
Richet.
Suichet.
Suichet. Hmm.
Sousche. My apologies.
Interesting. He just kind of shakes his head and goes, okay, all right. Puts it in the books. It's just, yes, I will have to. We have rooms.
Chef.
we have rooms for the three of you. But Darren, your name's on the VIP list. So you will actually have an upgraded room. Yes, quite. I was
you.
told to prepare one specifically for you and your three other friends, Creed, Aura, and Okros, if they ever did arrive. And I imagine this small robotic individual being named Lucifer. Yes, as description was given to me. I believe we'll go with you, Darian, to your suite. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Why is it any time I do something negative, it immediately backfires on me? Ah.
I still think his name should have been Leonard.
Yes. For the other three of you, of course, you will be shown to your rooms. They will be just upstairs, where I imagine you spoke to the housekeeper, Elena. She will be down here momentarily to show you there. I will simply ring the bell. As he pulls a cord and you hear a couple of bells ring, a couple floors above, as you start hearing feet, very purposefully walking towards you down the stairs. And he goes, Darian, of course, she will show you to your room as well. Your room is, of course, a floor above. She will show you the staircase for that. Not at the same level as the penthouse, mind you, but it is not restricted access, but it does have a slightly larger room for you to stay in. Please enjoy your stay. You do not have to pay for you, Darian, as the queen herself made sure that your names were on the lists. As for the other three of you, it will be silver a day, but we will deal with that after you go to leave.
Thank you very much, good sir. I'm just going to start following the lady.
Yes, of course.
Oh, is that Leonard? It is.
Is it who?
Okay. Or whatever Creed has named him, since Leonard was not accepted.
Yeah, no, I went with the fancy way of saying sous chef. So
Also known as the wrong way of saying sous chef.
Yes.
so Shay. Well, I didn't want to make it obvious I was giving a fake name. Give someone
was-
a weird name that's hard to pronounce and spell, and they're not going to ask questions.
Yeah, basically. Like, it's a very good tactic. Yeah, so the four of you are led to different to your rooms. Greed, Aura, and Okros, you are led to standard rooms that are next to each other. Just on the floor that you were just on, meeting Leandra, the housekeeper. And then Darian, you and Lucifer are brought a floor up. She shows you the staircase, which is on the corner above you at the corners of either side of these hallways. And you were led up to the next floor, which have, of course, larger rooms, a little bit more amenities going on, private bathrooms, etc. And as you are led in, Darian, she kind of shows you everything. You have like a walk-in closet that has some extra foamware in it. You have a nice big shower and a big fucking in-suite jacuzzi, a large king-size 4-poster bed. You have just like a nice luscious robe on the back of the door for you. Like you have all these things put in place. It smells like jasmine and vanilla. It is very well prepared for you. And
Excellent. I'm going to put the robe on immediately.
very good.
Oh my god.
You put the robe on immediately over your clothes. Very odd, but just kind of nod and wave at it.
Question. We each enjoy our lives our own way.
We listen and we don't judge here. Anyway, Leandra basically shows you everything your room has to offer. She shows you where the pull cord is for the bell if you wish for room service, that it links to a bell in the essentially servants' quarters, kitchen quarters, etc., where someone will come up to speak with you or use a pixie/sending stone, and you can then, of course, put your order in and they will bring it up to you, blah, blah, blah. Very much a standard-esque room service style situation. And she goes to leave and close the door behind her. And let me double check something. Cool. Yeah. Door closes behind her. She walks away, and you are left to your own devices. She did not close the door for the other three of yours rooms. She kind of left them like slightly ajar. So you could like the half open they usually do when they show you to your room, so you can close it or open it. You know, you don't feel like locked in kind of situation.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I have a plan. I have a plan. I just don't know if I want to do it because usually this shit backfires on me. But you know what? Fuck it. Why not? I'm a wild tape into a dust mite.
a dust mite. You have
Yep.
not seen a dust mite. Good
I
try.
just
I'm gonna
use
walk.
the dust mite.
I'm a wild
Also,
tape
or
into the tiny.
you don't even know what a fucking dust mite is. Like you as a character don't know what the fuck a dust mite is. They're also
I thought maybe we
microscopic.
would have seen. I also thought we might have seen one in like Big Apple or
How?
something. Like run
They're
down places.
microscopic.
I didn't know they were microscopic.
They're dust mites.
Fine.
They live
I'm
in
gonna wild
dust.
shape into. I'm gonna wild shape into the itty bitty little tiniest insect I have seen.
That'd be you have a choice between a common fly or a mosquito.
Probably a common fly.
Cool, you are now a common fly.
Okay. And I'm gonna buzz my ass up the staircase past the because they specified where the VIP suites are, not the VIP, the penthouse is, right?
Oh, and they just told you they were upstairs. They didn't tell you how or where to get to them.
Well, I'm gonna go fly around and see if I can figure out how to get up there.
Okay. So, I do you know how long you can stay in wild shape for?
I did, but I forget. Uno momento.
You did, but you forget.
Yes.
Nice. A
6
plus.
hours.
Nice. Okay, so
I'm not gonna be doing it long. I just want to see if I can figure it out.
you begin buzzing around, and you realize that a lot of these doorways that are closed, leading to staircases and such, don't let things pass through them easily. There are some ways that you've been able to kind of scoot through little cracks and gaps and make your way up to it. You make your way up to the VIP suite area where you saw Darian get led to, and you kind of buzz around through there, trying to keep your way around things. And you seem to not really find anything specific, and you're gone for like 3 hours. You're flying all over the VIP floor. You're flying all over the floor you're on. Even go down to the ground floor and start flying around there as well. Thank you, Cash. Um, just you don't really find anything. Tiny says hi. Thank you. Hi, Tiny. You don't find anything. 3 hours pass, you come back up, and Okros and Creed have done Okros and Creed things. And so, over those 3 hours, Creed, what are you doing?
Well, now that I know, apparently I had a fucking fancy suite prepared for me. I don't gotta lie my way.
You're gonna go back downstairs and bug the concierge, aren't you?
I'm gonna be honest with him, and we would have found out by now if this was fake, and it clearly is not. And these people are real, and they're not. At first, we could
Creed
tell
just
like
really desperate for that luxury at this point now that he knows it's not a trap.
no. The fact is like I'm closer to where we need to be. if you walk into the trap you know you're walking into, then you're not entirely surprised when things go poorly. So by the time Kree's gonna have headed back down to the concierge desk and try to talk to this dwarf again.
Okay.
Do you have ID on you?
So you go down to the desk, and the dwarf's behind the desk goes, yes, it's hello, what was it, Faith? Yes, of course. No, what can I help you with?
I must confess that I lied to you earlier.
No.
I did. My name is not Faith. It's Creed. Watch
No.
Commander Creed. In the service of the War Master Leandros of Ravenholm.
He pulls his handkerchief and he coughs into it. As he looks, he goes, oh, yes, yes, you were one of the names on the list that had the prepared rooms. Yes, well, if it means any difference, I did deliver your message to your friend. And he did explain to me that was probably your name. So, of course, you will be brought to your room as instructed by Queen Priscilla. And I imagine that, if that's the case, that the fly that's been buzzing around my concierge desk is your dear friend, Aura, not Leia.
Her full name is actually Orlea, but yeah.
Sounds like it's Aura, not Leia.
Creed's
now.
gonna go. The groan is part of it, by the way. I want to point that out. Yes, it is. But not that it matters much, but shall we say the rest of the city did not exactly give us a warm welcome? And to be entirely fair, I expected more of the same.
Well, that is very much how it is with the facades and the faces and such. But if your other compatriot is, of course, not sous chef, as he kind of looks at you dead in the eyes with like double raised eyebrows, and is really Okros the barbarian, then all three of you will be led to VIP rooms with most haste. We did not change them out or give it to anyone else if that's what you're worried about. We don't exactly have a number of visitors to the castle as it is of late.
That's fair. If you would, I would like to apologize for deceiving you. And Creed's gonna hold out his hand.
Yes. And he reaches out a very large dwarven hand that just kind of wraps around yours, and he shakes it. He goes, at least you came down and said something about it. This shows that you have quite the adorable spirit. I respect that. Now,
By the way, he appears to be coughing. How many? I'm gonna dump 8 points of lay on hands into him through our wonderful handshake.
his coughing persists, but it's less. But it's still his voice still sounds like a bit of a sick wolf stash. Yes.
All right. About how many points hypothetically would it take to help him out?
You believe this is not something you can cure. It's like scar tissue. Like it's either he is like sick to the point where it's phlegm in his throat, aka me in real life, or it's like just exposure from living his own life.
But let's bump it up to 10.
Jesus.
Hey, look, I'm trying,
This
I'm
man
trying to go back.
cure Grim through the dwarf.
Every negative thing that I've tried to do backfires. The good things generally don't. With the exception of, kind of fucking up Nez, which, wasn't the plan.
What about the guiding bolt? What about the guiding bolt?
guy?
I said the good things I try to do.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about trying to kill someone. That's different.
Didn't you kill the kid in the forest too?
We're not gonna
What?
talk about the fucking forest.
Which forest? Are we talking about the one with the bear or the one or a different one?
We're not talking.
We're not talking
on
about
hands
it.
in a room.
So, you do lay on hands, and he goes, and as you do it, uh,
Oh yeah, that's right. What about the guy you tried to heal his guts back into him and turned him into gut pastrami?
let me get the bit out, damn it, you sons of bitches. Anyway,
Did
it's
he slit that dude's throat too to save him?
Alright, let him
like
get the
death?
fucking bit out.
stop with the fucking continuing of the and yes me's. Stop it. Um, he shakes your hand and you do your 10 points of healing and he goes, quite right. I'm just glad that you came down and apologized. It's very, very kind of you, very admirable. Yes, I respect it. And as you do your points of healing, he pulls his hand away from you. He kind of scrunches. He goes, a very strange grip you have there, sir. But regardless, thank you, of course, for your admiralty, and your rooms will be prepared momentarily for you to be brought up. Yes, quite.
Wonderful.
Give me perception.
Second, I'm making Kool-Aid.
Oh, of course, the Schmoolade for the Schmooberin.
Yeah, I walked. I haven't done a whole lot of walking. I just decided yesterday to walk 2 miles to go for snacks. So,
Fair.
um,
Walking's
alright.
good.
perception. Got that's a 12.
Very good. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. You don't smell anything out of the ordinary either. And so you simply go back upstairs where you see Leandra is waiting for you, Okros, and Aura. Leads you to your VIP rooms that are next to Adarian's. Okros, to catch you up on the whole thing, Lucifer led them back to the castle, to the service entrance. We had a nice intro with Nez and Queen Priscilla. And you have VIP rooms here, as if you have been waiting to arrive. So, that is where you go now, to your VIP rooms. And as you enter your VIP rooms next to Adarian's, you see that his room, of course, his door is closed, but he has a nice little plaque above his door frame that says Adarian across it, as each of you have your own little placard nameplate that can be removed and changed, of course, as it comes to be with the VIP room, and it all has your names and such. And as you all enter, you see the same thing. You see a nice open space for king size 4-poster bed, nice rugs on the floor, good daylight access through the windows, in-suite jacuzzi, large shower, walk-in closet, and of course a large fluffy robe made to your stature, monogrammed with your name upon it, of course. And as each of you enter, Leandra walks you in, shows you everything, and then, of course, closes the door behind her. Now, or as you walked in, Leandra closed the door. You are left to your own devices. Creed. Leandra walks you in, shows you everything, gives you your robe, gives you towels, etc. Leaves you to your own device as she closes the door. And then Okros, she of course gives you a very large robe, gives you very large towels, shows you where everything is, of course, with how to get room service and food and such, and that they have the best chefs in this area. And that, of course, you have your suite and everything else. And then she closes the door. But you hear something when she closes it. Something that piques your interest. So I need you to roll perception, please.
Please do better than a 12.
There we go. I did not want to come apart. Freaking rolling tray suction cupped itself together.
Nice.
Uh, I'm just double checking. I have proficiency in that, not advantage, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. We are rolling. Oh. Oh, that's not great. I got a 9.
You hear something, but you're not sure what it is, and you kind of turn your head towards the door, and it kind of passes over your head as a momentary. You think maybe it was Creed knocking into something as he's covered in plate armor, or maybe Landra moving the cart outside that had all the robes and towels and extra robes and towels and such on it. You pay no mind to it. It seems normal. But oh, the 4 of you in your VIP rooms. What did the 4 of you do now that you're in your VIP rooms? Left to your own devices. Adarian, of course, simply threw on his robe and has gone to go and relax with Lucifer in tow. What do the rest of you do? Or what do any of you do?
I'm just literally gonna
Versus
sit in my room.
not staying in a room offered by somebody whose sister he just killed.
You know, I mentioned Aura. It's one of those things you get used to.
All right, so just whoever wants to try and do something, just go ahead and say you want to go first and then take a swing at whatever the fuck you want to do.
I'm leaving my room.
Okay. You go to open the door and it is locked.
I break it.
You go to break it and you break the handle off from the inside. But the door stays put.
I'm still a fly because I don't think I ever wild shape back.
So, Aura, did you or did you not wild shape back to go into your room?
Has
So,
it been 6 hours?
did you... All right, let me put it this way. So, when you were buzzing the downstairs and Creed got the VIP rooms, and he went back upstairs with Leandra and Okros, or to get Okros, were you still fucking about while that whole thing happened?
It was within the 3 hours because he said he was doing it while I was going down, while I was flying. Ugh. In the 3 hours that I was exploring as a fly, he said that's what he
Yes.
was doing during that time.
Very good. So, the only one not in their room currently is Aura, who is apparently a fly.
I didn't
fly
get a
around.
say in it, but yeah.
So,
Sorry, okay, I thought you were done.
all right. So, or you're mucking about, and then 3 of them are in their rooms. Okros, you go to try and break the door. Handle comes off as something seems amiss, and your lion senses are tingling.
I'm going to break down the door in the sensible manner and kick it.
You go to kick it, and it seems that when you kick it, it ripples. Like your force gets dissipated across some kind of barrier between you and the door.
All right, I move on to the walls.
It seems that the walls don't have this same barrier, and you begin to crack through it slowly but surely until you are now back in the hallway.
I attempt to open everybody else's doors from the outside. If they are locked, I am repeating the process on their walls.
You see that it's easy enough for you to open the doors on this side. And as you open the doors to Creed's and Darian's, Creed and Darian, what are you two doing when you see Okros open your doors?
Creator decided to sit down and was flipping through his book, but he just hears a pounding, and then a fist comes through the wall. So he's gonna look at it. Well, that's not very polite.
I was basically doing the same thing, just wearing my bathrobe or whatever kind of robe it is.
Well, neither is being locked magically behind a door.
You get used to it.
Is that going to become your catchphrase?
No.
Okay.
No.
No, I'm pretty sure his catchphrase is going to be "I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise" at this point.
No. If I had to guess his catchphrase, it'd be, "Ugh."
just an ugh sound.
Well,
I mean, I only say that because the way you do your intro, really, like every time I watch Commander, just instantly all I can think of is, I am Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
I mean, it is very reminiscent and it is very good.
I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship Enterprise. My first officer, William Riker, must have sexual relations with every species we come across, or surely the ship shall explode.
I won't break the first rule of the Federation, but I will fuck everything I come across.
Technically, it's not interfering.
I know, that's what's funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's technically not, but his ship will explode if he doesn't.
We're not interfering with the advancement of the society, but my first officer's kind of pent up, so.
He's more interested in advancing that society.
Oh,
yes,
God.
Creed is just sitting there reading when Okros very rudely punches through and breaks the wall.
He just opens your door and you're sitting there like, well, hi.
My room was locked from the outside via magic, so I broke through the wall. I was checking to make sure it was not the same for you, although I presume it's different from the outside.
Might I ask a question? Did you think about what happened after you broke through the wall?
Don't care. Better than being trapped in a room.
I'm just going to throw it out there. They seem to care about the castle. And you've broken... Zoe!
You mean a Darien?
Oh, sorry. Darien! Sorry, brain fart there. Darien!
Do not disturb.
Yes, that verifies the fact. You've broken 3 walls. So, did you think about how you would explain the 3 walls you broke through?
I broke one wall. Your doors are open from the outside.
Yeah, he did just break through the wall next to his door and then opened your doors.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought he broke through all the walls.
No, he didn't juggernaut his way through all the walls. No.
He could have, but no.
He could have, but no. He just went. He went next to his door, came out, and opened y'all's doors from the outside.
That was a misunderstanding on my part. Which is why I had this comical thought of like, how are you going to explain this?
How are you going to explain? Just
breaking through 3 walls.
Is this when we find out?
He explained it pretty well. He does not like being confined in a room.
Or is this where we find out that oh God, what's the fucking name? It's afraid of tight spaces. It's
claustrophobic.
Yeah, Okros is claustrophobic.
This will drastically affect the resale value of the castle.
Don't even make that joke. I was playing Zomboid the other day, and I was literally... No, you don't even know, dude. My character was flip-flopping between agoraphobic and claustrophobic. I'd go inside to get away from the agoraphobia and start reading a book, and my character would get claustrophobic. I'd step outside to do something, and my character would get agoraphobic. It was like fucking clockwork.
But so you open the door, then that's different. But
But he still
still,
has a hole in the wall.
have you thought about how you're going to explain punching your way through the wall?
Did they
Yes.
think of how to explain to us why they locked us in a room?
We are strangers who appeared, and I kind of did warn the people who they had taken as their, he's going to put his book down to the air quotes, guests, that this was all a lie and that they were in a trap. So my guess would this is be what you might call a quarantine.
While this is all happening, I'm going to go back to my original room and unwild shape.
Very good. Housekeeping comes by as they see you kind of mingling in the room. And Leandra comes up and goes, "Oh, did you not know that that you have a VIP room upstairs?" Creed came down and explained everything.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know that, but I'm quite okay in this room. This room is plenty for me.
No. I insist that you go take the VIP room, as it's significantly better for you, especially for a dryad like yourself. This room does not have the same amenities. I imagine you don't want to share a common shower or toilet with the number of other guests on this floor.
No, ma'am. I'm quite okay with this room. This room is plenty. It's the most beautiful room I've even ever stayed in. Like, it's more than enough. I promise you.
I don't think you quite understand. As she kind of like looks at you like in the eyes, it goes, "I have been asked to bring you to your room, Aura."
And I don't think you quite understand. I am quite okay with this room. So save yourself the trip and don't worry about it.
Very well. And she walks away from you. As you hear, well, as you know, you wouldn't hear it. So she walks away. As you're kind of left to your own devices in your room.
And because she was being so sketchy, I'm going to go sit in my closet.
Okay. You go and sit
And make it
in
look
the
like
closet.
and make it look like I left the room.
Very good. So, in that instance, as Adarian is sitting in his room, as you open it, as he yells at you, "Do not disturb," as he's reading a book in his fuzzy robe over his arbor. Creed,
I
of
yelled
course.
that at Creed.
Yeah. You yelled at someone from down the hall and it was very funny. But as the three of you are kind of figuring things out and Aura's sitting in her closet with something else happening, we swap back to Nez, which Nez, of course, Priscilla has come to see you again. He goes, "So have you thought about my offer?"
I have been, but I am curious about what it is to prepare.
Again, all it is that it's a device that would end the war. And all you need to do is agree to try, and then I will show you what needs to be done. I'll give you your own workshop, your own space, your own apprentices in terms to help you do whatever needs to be done. You will have the reaches of whatever I have to fix it. That's all I ask. So, do you accept my offer?
this point. Like, just to like go through like what's going on in Nessa's head real quick. It's for everyone else. It's I don't want to help because she's locking me in the room, but at the same time I want to go and see what the hell this is that she says can end the war.
I know you're evil, but man, am I curious.
Chaotic neutral, man.
The chaotic
Tell me
neutral
how
life,
this
bro.
play out.
I'm chaotic good.
My character wants to say, has Lucifer made it here yet?
He has. He has, of course, returned. He's with your friends downstairs, actually. And they, of course, have been given their own VIP rooms and the treatment, and among other things. Anything that they can require, they have been given. No harm has befallen them.
Will I be able to see them?
Of course, if you agree, and then I will bring you to your workshop. You'll be able to work. If you so require, you can bring them up to assist you, if that is exactly what you want.
So you're saying I can't see them before I agree?
Well, that would mean leaving you out of this room and all that other stuff. So I would imagine that it probably would not be the smartest thing to let my newest acquired engineer to simply walk away towards his friends and maybe not even fixing what could end the war. And I imagine that you will be able to speak with them shortly. It's just come and see. Just agree. And then come and see what's here. It will take no harm of you to simply try.
I want to say like both hands are like just crossed and like up to my chin. I'm thinking. Will Balder come with?
If you require his skills or whatever he may have, of course.
We'll go if Balder agrees.
Very well. And she steps over to his door and knocks on it gently and goes, Balder, my dear, will you join Nez here in helping him with his assignment? And when she speaks to him, he almost seems immediately pulled towards it. Like, to you, he kind of gave you the finger and was very gruff and kind of standing up. But with her, it seemed almost like he answered not immediately, but he answered nicely. And he stands up and walks towards the door and goes, Of course. Of course I'll help the Ragamuff changeling to finish whatever he's working on. I imagine he'll need skills of someone with a little bit more power in behind his arms than simply a brain. And so she turns to you and goes, See? He agrees. He will be with you. And once you agree and I give you free roam between here and, of course, your workshop, your friends, of course, will be able to come and see you as well. It's simply right now you're all coming from outside of my little town here. And I don't want any pieces on the board that I don't know their motives on. So, having picked you specifically for this task at hand, that is why I'm waiting for your answer. So, what will it be? Do you agree?
I already said I would agree, so I agree if Balder's going.
Very good. And both doors open as both you and Balder step out. And, no, man, all his fine voice to actually give me the gravels. I got it. So, both you and Balder step out. And Queen Priscilla shows you to the workshop that she explained before, where there is a large object, I would say about the size of like a large suitcase, like one used for a flight. Underneath a tarp of sorts, some kind of heavy cloth. And goes, here is the device I was speaking of that could end the war. And of course, now that you've agreed, you will continue to try and fix it until it is done. And once it's done, you will get whatever you wish from me. Riches, a boon. You'll be able to walk away from St. Radric with a happy heart and a light step. Or a heavy step if you wish for me to fill your pockets. And go about your way. No harm on any of you or your compatriots. So, take the cloth off of the object. Take a look at what I'm asking you to build. The one thing that I know you thought about yourself. She kind of steps to the side and motions towards the object.
But because of how often I've grabbed stuff and it was a bad idea, I'm going to have the helping hands grab it just in case to pull it down.
Yeah, they pull the cloth off of this like suitcase shaped object, and
It's a fursuit.
Nez, you must help me finish my persona. No, no, it is the light hits you immediately when you pull the tarp off of it. The glow, almost a blue-green glow, as what is underneath the tarp, the cloth in this case, is a case that looks to be made of glass. It's shattered, bent, broken, almost has been hit by falling rocks. The one object that was missing from Max's tomb. She goes, this will help us end the war. Rebuild the Pandora's box. And we can simply put the gods back where they are meant to be. Away. Balder takes a step back out of fear as he sees it, knowing what it is, knowing what its purpose is. And she goes, do not fear, my dear Balder. There is nothing to be afraid of. And her words seem to calm him as he kind of takes a deep breath and steps back up to stand next to you as he looks down at the broken box. And she goes, this is what you need to fix, to repair, to put back together into working order once more. because I know as much as you do that you want to see what it does. You saw the Infinity Circuit. You saw where the magic was kept before the spire fell. If you can fix this, you can fix that. And that would be your magnum opus, wouldn't it? The greatest artificer that ever lived, a changeling that was hunted to his species' extinction, now given a second chance to become something of legend. Now, isn't that a story worth telling?
That would be definitely something. As I definitely would like to rid us of what has been hunting us down.
Good. So then it seems that we are in agreement. I will fetch your friends post haste and bring them to you so that you can all be up here together and figure out this problem together. And of course, if you fix it, then you finish it, and then all is well and done. And you'll be able to live in this castle for the remainder of your time as you're working on this, free from harm. Nothing will come down upon you. And we'll go from there, one day at a time. Now I hope for your best in this, as I imagine you'll put your best into everything. I will leave you to it. I will fetch your friends. And I hope that your head is as full of ideas as I believe it is. Do not disappoint. That'd be a terrible thing to do to your queen. And she walks out of the room, and you feel a sense of calm over you as she does. Almost as if her words seem to kind of meld your mind into a calm, focused state. At this point, or you're in your room, in your closet, about 30 minutes after you talk to Leandra, still sitting in your closet, you hear a knock on your door, followed by the gruff voice of, Laura, are you, where is that blasted sea elf? Where are you? We've word to bring you to see your friend.
I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to stay in my closet and see if he leaves.
She must be somewhere. Whatever she may be, I wish I could say. But regardless, I imagine that she'll find her way back to us eventually. But he kind of grumbles and walks out as he goes up towards the VIP rooms. As he walks up to Adarian's room, knocks, and goes, Mr. Adarian, I've been brought forth to bring you to see your friend Nez. Are you well? Are you better?
Enter.
Yeah, quite. He he enters your room. And he sees you and goes, Mr. Darren, I've been asked by the Queen Priscilla to bring you, of course, up to what is the word? To come and see your friend Nez. Quite.
Very good. Lead the way.
Yes, let's go gather your friends, and we'll be on our way. And so then he walks down the hall, sees that Aura's room is open. She is not there. Steps down one more and sees fucking Creed. Sees Creed Okros talking. And he goes, "Nah, yes, both of you are here. Okros, how did you? Never mind. Anyway, I have been sent to bring you up to your dear friend Nez. The Priscilla has said that it is time for you to see him. Yes, as requested."
Creed's gonna snap his book shut, put it away, and stand up. And then, of course, it's rude to keep royalty waiting.
Yes. So it's good to go see an old friend as well. Yes. Ah. There's a hole in this wall. That's fine. That can be patched. Follow me, please, if you will. I tried to find your friend Aura, but I don't know where she is. So I will bring the three of you up, and hopefully someone will find her. But regardless, up these stairs here, and he brings you to a large metal door. Thank you for the fire. Jesus. Thank you for the follow, Spire. Appreciate you, bro. Brings you to a large metal door, opens it, and leads you up another spiral staircase that goes up to the VIP penthouses. Which, as you rise to said penthouses, you see they are very large and luxurious rooms, but this floor is very restrictive. There are multiple guards in different places, and that the doors to these penthouses are not specifically like irregular doors. They are iron bars. It seems that these were some type of large prison cells that were retrofitted into penthouses due to some kind of quarantine protocol or just for some other sense of control of the situation. But you see that the two suites that you walk past are both open. The beds look like they've been slept in. And as he walks you down further down the hallway towards the workshop, you see Nez and Balder standing inside next to an object that has been half uncovered from underneath a thick cloth. He goes, yes. Miss Nez, I have brought your friends as the Queen insisted. Here they are. If you need anything else, please do not hesitate to ask. Yes, quite, yes. And if I find Aura, I will send her up here post haste. But hopefully she comes up sooner rather than later. Yes. And the dwarf kind of turns on his heel and walks back to where he's going.
Well, clearly you did not listen to my message.
What message?
That nice gentleman, I paid him to bring you a message that none of this is real and this is a trap.
You know, this is the first time I'm hearing that.
I wasted my gold then. Well, none of this is real and we're in a trap.
But what about this? I'm gonna point at what she wanted me to work on.
On what? We need to leave. As of now.
Greed, you see what he's pointing at. even though you were trying to tell him to leave now, post haste, do not think about it, do not pass go, do not collect $200, leave. The glow of the object catches your eye as it's familiar.
What do you have there? He's gonna like, start walking around to get his eyes on it.
This is what I'm trying to find out, and I feel like it's something important. At least that could possibly help us.
How so?
Well, even when Balder saw it, he did freak out for a moment until the queen said nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's more than enough reason to worry. The Creed's gonna come around to actually see whatever he's talking about.
You immediately recognize it as it's the box you shattered. It's the Pandora's box that Max was holding.
Oh, where did you find this?
I just found it here. The queen's the one that brought it to me.
Well, I find it odd that she has this. Because I broke that.
Yep, and you can clearly see that it's broken. Like its case is broken, the metal bars are bent that's holding it. It looks like it's been struck by a greatsword. Go fucking figure.
Well, the way I'm seeing this as Creed is it's a moment where you looking back, you're I completely destroyed it. There's no way that anyone's even gonna recover it. No, but it's like could have swore I destroyed that.
Yep.
Not good. So, what did she tell you about this?
All she told me is that if I fix it, it will end the war and we can leave and either get a boon, magic item, or walk away even happy with money. And the only way I could even see it was if I at least promised to try to work on it.
Ooh. How do I explain it? I suppose the first things first, if you manage to fix this, you're never leaving. I don't care what someone may tell you. If you're capable of repairing this, you're never leaving this castle alive. The things that they did to the town around this castle baffled me. And I can only shiver at the concept of whatever they're going to do next. If they manage to have you repair this, record it to end the war, of course. But it's also just as likely we go back to the old management.
Been fulfilled, at least at the moment. I at least get to see you guys right now. because she told me you guys were here,
Yeah,
but
you too, buddy.
I couldn't see you yet.
I'm trying to remember far in the past.
How far?
Like
Hmm.
over 2 years ago.
Give me some guys. I could probably give it to you.
I'm trying to remember what all Max said about the box.
That it was important. That you need to push the gods back into it because they're Achilles' heel.
I remember him telling me something more way back when. I don't remember what. God, I wish I had taken notes back then. Look, Nez, what's important to know is when this was built, Korea's gonna kind of like. Actually, no, yeah, a second. Do tieflings have knees?
They do, but they're reverse jointed.
How would you kneel?
Very carefully. It's like a weird, like, you ever seen like the elites kneel in the cutscenes in
Yeah.
Halo? That's kind of how you do it as a tiefling.
I guess, yeah, equivalent would just be him squatting down.
Yeah,
You
basically.
squat down and kind of like poke through the wreckage. It's hardly possible to repair this, does it? But the time this was built, the time that Max lived in, it's a much darker time. And I can tell you that those who led the Glass Keep were more than willing to keep that mentality and mindset alive. I had the goal to be near some people doing things, and they sent me to the desert to die. Fixing this for all the queens out here, it could benefit us. And for all I know, it does nothing but give them a direct line to Zeus. I'm willing to bet he does not want to go back in the box.
So at least one way or the other, it sounds like they shouldn't have the box. Should we take it with us?
Why did I buy a pork chop?
There's one thing you remember about what Max told you about the box creed. And it's that he asked you to turn on the world stones for a reason. That the veil was there because it was placed. And that the world stones, as you've seen, connect Etheria and the veil where you stand now. As presented by the fact that ragtag team of mercenaries was able to free Bill, who let you survive.
There's also a great retrospective moment because doing what Max said led to a lot of death. I gotta make Creed's kind of questioning if it was all worth it.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah. It's also paved with a lot of bodies of good men.
That it is. But I believe for you to figure out if it's going to be worth it, or Creed to figure out it's going to be worth it, is what's the end goal going to be?
Someone else talk for a bit. I gotta think.
So, while Creed is in deep thought, does anyone else have anything they want to put forward in their brain bits? Stealth, stop dying. Not allowed.
No.
So I imagine you're all just kind of standing around looking at the box, minus Aura, who's sitting in a closet. So while everyone's staring around a box, any last words before I swap to Aura to figure out what she's doing?
By all means.
Go for it.
Indeed.
Okay. Aura, you're sitting in a closet. It has been another 30 minutes. No one has come looking for you. No one has made any noise to come find you. And you're sitting in a closet. What do you do?
Is she still AFK?
Absolutely wonderful. Cool. All right. So we pause that train of thought again and we swap back to the rest of the party standing around a box. You're all standing around a box that looks very powerful and very scary.
And very busted.
And very busted.
Just really quick.
Yeah.
What is the size of the box?
In specific measurements, so in general measurements, about the size of like a small suitcase. In specific measurements, you're probably looking about, I would say, 2 feet across by probably about a foot deep, about 10 inches tall.
So something like basically any one of us could just pick up and carry with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Thinking about tossing it in a bag and just booking.
Yeah, it's size that any of you could easily pick it up and run with it. I mean, for fuck's sake, Max was holding it during the original fight where it was broken. Max was old as shit at that point. Still is, but even more so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, you should fear a man who lives long in an industry where people die young.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I mean, would you want to meet Max in a dark alley?
Absolutely not. I designed the motherfucker.
No, no, thank you.
I designed him. I don't want to fucking be in an alley with that motherfucker. Him and
My
Clem,
only
absolutely
experience
not.
with Max character is, if I recall correctly, a skeleton.
Not exactly. Oh, God, that was gross. Max
I'm-
was
Oh, go
just
ahead.
real quick
Sorry.
for Darian. Max is Maximilian the Magnificent, who is a very powerful spellcaster from the prequel of this campaign, from the previous one. He was also known as the Undying King. He was the guide of the original party that found like Martyr's Wake. They found the Crucible of Sin, the sword that Creed carries. They accidentally, quote unquote, opened the Godfall. And then had to deal with the repercussions. They went to take out the prophets that were the original leadership that were kind of being real shitheads about the whole fucking thing. And then they killed 2 of them. Half the party got zooped out of existence, or most of the party got zooped out of existence. And then Creed got zooped 13 years in the future, where he meets y'all. And then, of course, you came in like a year later. So,
But yes, I'm referring to when we made it to the
yes,
tower with
you
the
saw
funny talking death god. There was a skeleton.
the skeleton was Max. Yes, the skeleton
That's
was Max.
thing. That's my only experience with him. Skeleton and chair.
Skeleton and chair. Yes.
So based off of that interaction, fairly indifferent to running into him in a dark alley.
That's fair enough. I mean, yeah.
I
that's
have a solution to my moral conundrum.
what's that?
I'm a paladin.
Yeah.
I can appeal to a higher calling.
Aren't you the same paladin that lied to the concierge about why you were here, or who you were actually? who it was?
Aren't you also an Oath of Vengeance paladin?
Yeah, but this is the case of. I'm trying to think about it from Creed's perspective here, and the thing is, if we put the gods back, it's all going to start again. But if we don't put them back, things continue to get worse, even now. And he's conflicted because he's looking at 2 splits in the road,
right,
that accomplish the same goal in drastically different ways. Which is continue to go after them directly and try to take them down, whether it can or not. Or we fix the box, we push the gods back, but who knows what this queen and her sisters are gonna do. Because this box has to go somewhere, and we once thought it was safe. That's assuming that Zeus doesn't have a backup plan.
So part of that sounds like a long-term problem. The short-term problem is we probably, regardless of what you decide, don't want to leave this box with Queen, whatever her fucking name was. We should probably take it and get the fuck out of here.
I mean, I at least want to take it with and head it to Leandros to deal with. I feel like it would be safer with him.
I don't remember how the quote goes, but never forget that as you make plans, so too does the enemy. Which is something Creed would be aware of. If in this situation, if I was Zeus, I'd be trying to find some way to prevent myself from being pushed back out. And he's had technically 13 years to do it. Things ain't going well for him now. So.
But are you sure he knows of the box?
It doesn't matter if he knows of the box. He knows of something. You have to plan around the potentiality. The potentiality?
The potential.
potential.
The idea was there,
yeah. Yeah, the potential of such a thing happening. Someone has a spell, someone has a magical device that will send him back from where he came. Which is part of the reason why I want to take the cheat code path of appeal it to the higher power, because again, either Creed follows his oath of vengeance, he follows He follows every bloody step until he gets to Zeus and hopes he can take him down. Or we fix the box and hope for the best. Same goal, drastically different paths. Oh. I'm willing to try to appeal, even if you just end up telling me to figure it out yourself. So, Reed's gonna close his eyes and try to. I guess he's never tried it before, but try to reach out to Tiberius.
You take a moment and you push the sound of conversation from your head as you reach into your own mind where the Trinity sits. Max, Brother Fidarius, and Tiberius. And as you kind of reach into this mind, you are brought into what looks to be a type of council chamber where the three of them sit around a round table and Tiberius offers you a seat. He looks at you and goes, "What ails you, Creed? Why do you hesitate?"
Because one road leads relatively straightforward. It's a path I can understand, though it's long. The death of each of the gods at my hands or of another's. It's a path I can understand. Bloody and straightforward, but it's something I can grasp. Hoping that whatever the next god I fight is one I can take down as... I know it's optimistic. But we restore the box. What comes after? Do we go back to how it was before? Is it another purge of someone else, or is it humans again? Should we go back to, well, rather blankly, the strongholds, the keeps ruling everything, deciding what's best for the realm again? Or does something worse happen? Because all of this power has to go somewhere. We thought it was secure before, but it's not. It wasn't. What happens after?
That is a question that you cannot answer, and that I cannot answer. The three of us that sit here in front of you were all part of the original purge. We fought the incursions in Martyr's Wake. We pushed back the gods. We fought our own wars. We cannot answer for what may come due to the idea of putting forth a better tomorrow. You know as well as I do that the world that you left behind will not return. The humans will not return to the Veil. They may return to other realms, if they ever find their way back, but they will not return to the Veil. The humans have their own issues to deal with. So if they are given passage back, it will be small and guarded by us as the divinity that will make sure that it occurs in such a way. As for the idea of the strongholds controlling everything, that is commonplace. Without a overruling class, such as the prophets or the gods, that there must be something to decide of what each of the regions does for the best, very akin to what became a feudal society in the human world. It eventually devolved and evolved in two different very set paths. It began to move into tribalism and then returned back to a governing body. Those that evolved from it went to a larger governing body, then it subsected into multiple different pathways based on currency, such as capitalism and markets, to others, such as socialism, where it became the betterment of all over the means of the many, over the means of the few. Others, it became oligarchy, where might means right, theocracy, where it was religion over thought, ideology, where it was science over everything else, and then, of course, the preservant utopians that believed that the world would be better if it was a balance of all. I cannot tell you what will happen. All I can tell you is that whatever you do, the world will change for the better. Whether you go forth and you swing your blade like I have shown you, you go forth and you swing the blade of every single soul that has been torn asunder in this world to remake what was stolen. It is not set in stone of what will happen afterwards, but it will be one filled with blood and corpses on both sides. It may even be covered in yours and your friends. But sacrifices must be made if it means that you finish what was started. Again, for the better world that would come across afterwards. But if you use the box is what kept the gods in check. It gave us a chance. And if that is what is required to stop this, even if you were able to trap Zeus back in his box, throw it into the deepest ocean, into the deepest trench, and let it sit upon the floor, never to be seen again, it still means that he would not be able to harm you. That you wouldn't have to risk your life or your friends to do it. But his armies would remain. His forces, his powers, those would still need to be dealt with. So it comes down to not what do you think will be best for the world, what will give you a better future, even if you are not there to see it. I know it is not the answer you are looking for, but it's the only answer I can truly give.
I apologize. I need to point out for the conversation. I listened to Long Days, Cold Nights, and now I'm at a Price of Progress from Frostpunk, and they are perfect for this. But I believe I understand.
You could even ask Max and Brother Fagrin about what they believe they are leaving for a better world. I believed I was leaving a better world when I took down those demons, gave the humans a chance to run. Me and my crusaders being the last standing of a bastion, my sword being the last to stain the ground with its blade. Of course, then there was Max, who lived many centuries to keep the cycle going, if it meant that eventually the right heroes would land in the right place, the wrong person in the right time. As the saying goes, does it not? And then, of course, Brother Fagrin. He led the other parts that allowed the idea of this to surface. He was the progenitor of the entire movement that brought the resistance together. Small bits and pieces. The priest that saved you all those years ago, that you found his body. The first thing you saw when you returned. That was a price that he was willing to give for a better tomorrow, and now Glacier Keep stands renewed, unbroken. No longer a desecrated landscape, but now a thriving city where refugees are being welcomed in by the dozens. Because of him. Because of you. So, every action brings forth a consequence, whether positive or negative. It is too distant and variable to say which will bring what. But I do know that what you're doing will bring forth a better world. But in what sense, if it means giving the opportunity for another hero to stand on your shoulders, on your mantle, to lead another resistance, to lead another force for what is right, then I believe the world will be okay, if there are heroes like you to exist in them. Fix the box, use it, or do not. Break it further and take it with you, scatter it to the four winds of time, and then slay the gods one by sword, and hope that you do not lose yourself and your friends in the process. Your path is yours. But if the gods die, the world is better for it. How you do it is up to you. That is what I will leave you with, Mr. Creed. Return to your friends. I believe you have much to discuss. And he gives you a gentle motion as you are pushed back to where you're standing among your friends. We switch to Aura, who's finally back. Thank you, back. What are you doing sitting in your closet, Aura?
I was gonna try and sneak out, but I know I'll get caught because that's just my luck. Actually, no, fuck it. I'm gonna try and sneak out. Worst they'll do is take me to my friends. What am I rolling?
All right, so hold on. Are you gonna try and find your way to your friends?
No, I'm gonna try and find my way out of this frigging castle because I don't want to be here anymore. And then I'll figure out how to get to them after.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'll try and find them. Going off on my own always backfires, so I'm gonna try and find them.
Okay.
Without getting caught.
Okay. So you want to go find your friends, but you don't want to get caught. Your original idea was, do you want to try to escape without being caught? So now
With them, yeah.
All right, so you want to go find them now. That's what I'm understanding.
Make them leave, yes.
And make them leave. Okay.
Yeah.
You have no idea where to go.
Nope. Other than up to the VIP floor where I last saw them, because I know that's where they took Etheria. That's all I know.
Okay. So, roll perception as you poke your head out from behind the door.
Perception. I got a 15.
You see that there is no one in the hallway, and that the door leading up to the VIP rooms that Darian was in is to your left about 30 feet.
I attempt to get there.
You do so. You are now standing in front of a door, hidden.
I go out.
You run into the door.
I check to see if the stairs are clear.
You run into the door.
Oh, I open the door.
The door is locked.
Well, shit. I don't have any lock-picking skills, do I?
I don't know, do you? Sleight of hand is the skill you use for it.
Well, I'm gonna roll sleight of hand and see if I can lock-pick this door.
Go for it. I'm here for it.
that 20.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, you open the fucking door. You MacGyver the shit out of the fucking lock and you go up the stairs.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I go up the stairs, and then I get to the top of the stairs, obviously, and I probably notice that there's a giant hole in the wall unless they fixed it
No,
already.
you go up to the top of the stairs and you find another door and you run into it.
Well, Mama, MacGyver the shit out of this one, too. Let's roll sleight of hand, why don't we?
Yep.
Not one.
Holy fuck!
Wow.
The
Wow.
dice give it, the dice give it, and then the dice take it away.
All right, hang on. I have just the thing for this. Where's my curse list? Hold on, everybody. It's time to bring out an oldie but a goodie. Okay, I need my D Hundy. 57. What's 57? I like this one.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
You go to pick the lock with your hands. Your right hand is the one that has the lock pick in it. As you go to do it, you hit a piece of the metal and you fuck up. It fires the pick out of the lock, hitting your hand with some kind of arcane energy as now it flops at your side boneless.
I lost a hand?
No, your arm is boneless. Your right arm it hangs there uselessly like it has no bones. It flops around. You still have feeling and you can still kind of move it, but there's no structure. It's just a noodle arm.
Harry Potter.
You've been Harry Potter. You've been fucking rubber bones.
I have a spell for this shit. Hold on.
Oh, do you? Do you have remove curse?
I'm immune to charming, not curses. Fuck.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I have a fucking limp dick arm.
You do.
Fine. Whatever. I'm gonna roll. I can't pick the door again because I have a limp dick arm. Fuck.
Oh, you can still pick the door. You can try. It's just going to be a disadvantage.
Well, I'm gonna roll sleight of hand again, I guess.
Do it at disadvantage. Let's see what happens.
Okay, I got a 14. If that's the lowest I roll, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
An 8.
You do not pick the door.
Almost a fucking 20.
What else do you want to
What?
try and do? Do you want to try and pick the door again?
Yep. At
Okay.
disadvantage. I'm gonna stay here till I get this door
You're
open.
going to stay until you get it right. Okay.
Okay. Nope, that was a 7. I ain't getting that door open. Let's do this again. 15.
You got a 15.
I got an 18 and a 15, so I got a 15.
Thank the gods. You picked the door open with your noodle arm.
Okay, I checked the hallway to make sure there's no one there, obviously.
You don't see anyone in the hallway. You see 4 open doors, and the last door on the right has a hole in the wall next to it, and the door is still closed. And that one has
I'm
a
gonna
nameplate
whisper to-
Okros over it.
I was gonna say I'm gonna whisper to myself, well, that was Okros's.
And you see a large metal door in front of you at the end of the hallway that says penthouse across it.
Well, shall we attempt to go pick that one?
Do you have anything else in your arsenal that you would like to use, or are you just going to pick it at disadvantage still because you're noodle arm?
I don't think I have any spells. Do I have anything in my back?
Throw your pet mushroom at it. See if that does anything.
No! We are not harming Gorbaz. I mean, I could technically wild shape again, but it'll be my last one because I think I can only do it twice. But I have a feeling this door is like sealed top to bottom. Can I inspect the door?
Yep, you can investigate the door, to be specific.
Investigation rolled. I
Investigation
got
goes.
a 11.
It's a door. And it's locked. And it's made of metal.
I'm gonna try and open it first to make sure. Oh, it is locked. You just said that. Derpader.
You do see that it has hinges on the exterior of the door.
Can I attempt to use my dagger to pry the hinges off?
That
Like the
sounds
pins?
like an athletics check at disadvantage because of your noodle arm.
Okay. Okay, well, that roll was a 26. Let's roll again. 22.
You get one of 6 pins out.
I'm going to do it again.
I love this. This is very funny. Thank you, Loomis Maximin, for the 69 bits. Damn, that DM is fine. Can I get your number? Hot stuff. You already have it. Sorry to bust your bubble. You've had it for 13 years.
I got a 20.
You got a 20. Very good. That's 2 out of 6 pins.
Okay, rolling again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Change it and give it to her again. You know what? So that's
21.
a beautiful plan. That's 3 out of 6.
She had rolled a nat 1 before that 20 again.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. I have a +7. That's why
Yeah,
I got an 8.
an 8 with a nat 1.
But does that count?
It's disadvantage.
I
You
thought I
take
had
the
to-
lowest.
Yeah, I didn't roll. Like, I'm keeping rolling in sets of 2 until I get one that I know will take a pin out.
What?
But now I've lost count.
No, you roll.
So I'm rolling.
You roll the pair of dice. You take the lowest, and if you succeed, you take the pin out.
Well, then when I know it's not going to succeed, I just roll again.
That
until I think it'll succeed.
what?
Like I'll hold on. I'll roll 2, and if I know I don't have a number that'll succeed, I'm saving you having to hear me
For
say
the
I'm
record,
doing it
unless I
again.
misunderstand things, if you roll a nat 1, you don't add a bonus to it. It stays a 1.
Oh, I didn't know that. D&D Beyond adds it for me automatically, so I just go with the number it gives me. I didn't know this, but I rolled a nat 1, so.
Yeah, you do. We're doing one roll at a time. Like you're not just going to continue rolling until you get the pin.
Okay.
It's you do a roll, and it's a yes, no, and then you do it either next pin or you roll it again.
Okay, I thought I was saving time.
No, you're mad rolling because you're missing all the funny haha RP shit. So we'll just say
I'll
you're at
stop
3 out
doing
of
that.
6 pins. So now
Okay.
you roll for your 4th pin, and then you tell me what you got.
I'm surprised he hasn't just opened your character sheet to monitor at this
18.
point.
You got an
was the low out
18.
of those 2. Yeah.
You get the 4th pin. Now you roll for your
I'm-
5th pin. I didn't think I had to monitor. I thought she knew how the fucking process worked, but all right. I'll babysit.
20.
Cool. You got the 5th pin. 6th pin. Roll the fucking dice at disadvantage.
I got a nat 20 plus 7, so 27, and then a 26.
So, base etiquette when it comes to rolling the dice. 20s and 1, you just call either nat 1 crit fail or a nat 20 is a nat 20. If I ask you for your total for those, because sometimes, depending on the situation, you can get a nat 20 and it's still not beat the total of what you're dealing with. Like, because there are certain things where nat 20s aren't going to be auto crit successes. So, you got nat 20 on the 5th one. Congratulations, you popped the pin. Last pin. Roll.
I did.
Okay.
26.
Wonderful.
Because I got
You
got a nat 20 plus 7, and then I got a 19 plus 7.
perfect. You got the 6th pin. as you pop the last pin out, the whole fucking door falls.
I move out of the way.
Give me a dex check.
Nat 20.
Damn it! I was actually hoping the
Son
door
of
was
a
gonna fall
fucking
after all that.
bitch. So you sidestep out of the way, you fucking jackass. And the door comes crashing to the ground, which catches the attention of all the guards in the penthouse suite and your
I'm just gonna
compatriots
book
and the
shit up the
people on the
stairs and-
VIP floor. And so you run up the stairs towards two guards that are coming down
Yep.
at you.
Yep.
While that's happening, the rest of you hear this large metal pipe hit me in the fucking head because I was waiting for somebody to play the fucking sound effect. You hear the sound of essentially a large metal. Thank you, Zell. You hear the sound of a large metal pipe essentially smashing into the stone ground. As you then hear fuck from Aura as she's running up the stairs as you hear the two guards run down the stairs. What do the rest of you do in this situation?
Pretend I didn't hear anything.
Got it. Okros / Creed / Nez.
Pick up the box
Pick up the box. Cool.
to take it with us.
And take it with you. Dope.
Creed's gonna hold his hand to stop Nez. Fix it.
Wait, what?
Whatever she is, she's not wrong. Fix the box.
I
How
mean,
about we take the box and fix it later?
I just don't want her to have the box, but I'm 100% for fixing it.
Are your odds better fixing it here or somewhere else?
She did say she would bring me whatever I needed.
Take
But
advantage and fix it here.
all right,
And do you think that a being such resources at its disposal would let such an asset be afterwards?
I'm going to be in the same situation with it complete or in parts.
he's got the point on that one. At least if we get the parts from her for free to resolve it, we're gonna have to
And
fight either way
how
to leave.
much more will she consolidate her power in the time it takes for us to do so? Did somebody try responding? All I heard was weird garbled background sound.
I don't think anyone responded.
No.
Okay. Then I just heard weird garbled background sound for some reason.
I was
Probably through me.
assuming that was my headset acting up and ignoring it. I'm glad I wasn't the only one actually hearing that.
Well, as long as it wasn't somebody actually trying to say something.
So I love how you guys are all having a conversation up here.
Wow, like oh, the conversation while Aura's having like a
Yeah.
dilemma.
She's being bum rushed by guards, and you guys are like, wait, no, the moral complications.
I'm what's new Scooby Dooing them as they
Yeah.
run up and down these stairs.
Very
The
good.
moral complications of Aura being chased by guards sounds like something Aura brought on herself.
That's fair. So
It's just like a whole thing of like we're just like, oh, that's probably Aura. It'll get figured out.
she'll
Or
figure it out.
brought to us somehow.
She's a big
usually
girl.
Looney Tunes her way out of these situations just as easily as she Looney Tunes her way into them. So we'll just wait.
She's
Hey,
a big girl.
speaking of
She'll figure it
Looney
out.
Tuning,
Yeah.
speaking of Looney Tuning, I'm gonna wild shape back into my fly.
Oh, jeez. It's cringe.
I'm fly again. Now I'm just gonna buzz in circles around these guys' heads. Just do it. Like, I'm trying to distract the guards because I can. Can I kind of hear what they're saying?
What, as you're buzzing around as a fly?
No, my compatriots. Can I kind of hear what they're saying from the stairs?
As you buzz up as a fly?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh no.
I won't understand it, but yeah.
I
I
mean,
meant more so as. I meant more so as like before I wild shaped. Was I able to hear what they were saying? Like
That was 3 hours ago.
I just wild shaped again. Crazy.
so as you come up, as you fly up the stairs after Looney Tuning your way past the guards and going up the stairs, you go into the workshop following the voices of your compatriots as you see them all standing around a box talking about the complications. Thank you, Zoe. Talking about the complications of said box. So, Aura, you fly into the workshop and you come across your compatriots talking about the box.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck do you do? You're a fly in a workshop listening to them about talking about a box.
Does the box have anything I can fly into?
It's a box.
There's no holes in the box.
It's a cracked open box. You can fly into it.
Okay, I'm gonna fly into the box.
You fly into the box. You are now a fly in the box. Congratulations.
Am I still able to investigate as a fly?
I mean, yeah. You still have your druid brain. You're just a fly.
I rolled my investigation. I got a 18.
Okay.
19.
You see that it is a box made of strange material, a metal frame. It's broken as shit. And your compatriots are currently talking about what to do with said box. Otherwise, you don't know what the fuck this box is. It's a box.
Okay, and I can understand that they want to escape with said box. Well, two of
They
them
want-
do. Creed wants to stay and fix it.
Yes, there's currently an argument or a debate going on between whether staying here to fix the box, then leaving, or leaving right now with said box. That is the debate going on currently.
If I hadn't already used both wild shapes, I would wild shape into a friggin' eagle and take the box and fly out with it. But I've already used both.
All right, so Fly Aura sits in the box. That's broken as shit. She doesn't understand what the
I'm
fuck it
flying.
is.
I'm flying out of the box. I forgot to mention that. I do fly out of the box after I investigate it.
All right, you fly out of the box. Congratulations. You're now flying the wall on this conversation. So, the rest of you, have you decided what you want to do with said box?
Brigid wants Nez to take advantage of the resources just to fix
Hello
it here.
there.
Ez wants to fix it one way or the other.
Thank you for the follow, Kyrie. Thank you. Nez just wants to fix it. Yep.
I think we're pretty sure that this queen is another one of the hags that we like the one we dealt with earlier outside.
Oh, you 100% sure. Like,
Yeah, I don't want this box broken or otherwise anywhere near where a hag has access to it. And fixing it here just sounds like a perfect opportunity for a hag to steal it before we can do anything with it afterwards.
And in my shenanigans, I've also probably pissed her off a little bit.
maybe.
So again, Darian says we should take the box and leave.
If the fly had a way to speak, she'd say take the box and leave and then fix it.
It's all up to you, Mr. Artificer. Unless you want to give it to Okros to throw off the top of the castle or something.
Oh, I feel like throwing off the top of the castle should just retrieve it.
Throw it like a microwave into a river.
No, I kind of agree with Nez here. She'll probably just hag poof it back into her castle. It won't even make it to the water.
Hag poof it back into the castle.
It's a term.
Yep. Hag magic is weird. They do things like that.
I don't know what to say in response to that, so.
Good.
So, Nez, as you're holding the box, you get an idea. Because you think back to what you did when you were dealing with Boulder. With the materials you found, you helped build the scythe that Okros now carries, but you also built that weird crystal shank that seemed to be able to wound anything. This box was meant to hold and neutralize the gods. From the very brief description and tidbits of information you've been given from Creed and otherwise. So if you can't fix it, recycle it.
Death box?
Agreed. I got one other idea.
Oh shit, that was supposed to.
What would that be?
I'm going to pull the shank out with the helping hands because of it's safer for them to touch it still than me.
Yeah.
And say, I'm in. Or we could just get rid of it as I'm showing him the shank.
The problem is it's the only truly effective weapon we have against the goal. Rather, frankly, poor till we know it works.
Well, they're figuring this out. I gotta be right back. The roommate's on my ass about going and taking shit out with her, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm still for. I'd rather leave with this and not fix it here. I don't know how much I really trust her. Especially when she called me delicious earlier. Even though I know she wasn't going to eat me.
She called
still
you
don't-
delicious?
Yes. At least my brain was delicious.
My apologies, Nez. I don't believe I don't believe you match my tastes, so I cannot comment on that. You're a good-looking chap, I suppose.
Just throwing this out there, I guess, out of context. You just said that to a changeling. He could probably fix that pretty easily. Just saying.
Jeez.
again, I don't want him to repair it, but I want him to repair it because again, it's the only thing we know works. So if we recycle it or we destroy it, we're getting rid of our only truly effective weapon against the gods. And that just seems like a really bad decision. But to quote a scholar of our time, no one man should have all that power. I am personally torn between what to do here. I can see Creed going either way, but neither option's really good.
I mean, there is a third option.
Yeah, but Creed is going to stand up, and he's going to look Nez directly in the eyes. Whatever decision you make, I shall honor and do what I can to support you. But I honestly don't know what to do. And I truly feel whatever decision I choose is going to be wrong. So I leave it in your hands. In the meantime, I'm going to go enjoy a nice, clean room. Apparently, it's provided for me. And I'm going to attempt to relax for the first time. And I question: do wristwatches exist?
No.
How about pocket watches?
Yeah.
He's gonna mime open a pocket watch. Oh, about 14 years. So he's gonna look back at Nez again. It's up to you. Oh, I'm gonna turn back around. By the way, Okros, you should know the spread of items down in that kitchen is phenomenal. And Korea's gonna reach inside his satchel, pull out a loaf of bread, and toss it to Okros, and just leave.
Okros, the loaf of bread that you are tossed is still warm to the touch, and it is the most delicious sourdough bread you ever smelled in your life.
Interesting. Well, suppose I should see exactly who's making such bread.
So as you all spread out, as the evening...
Oh.
What up?
I just wanted to let go of the Okros. Like, well, Okros, if you want to find that out, maybe I could work on this for a bit, and you talk with the chefs, and we at least get free roam in here while I work on this. To at least figure out more about it. So I would say we all take our rooms for the night and reconvene later.
I'm going back to my house robe and my bed and my book. Good night, all.
And as you all kind of spread out to your rooms, you find that your doors no longer lock from the outside. Okros, your door doesn't really matter because you still have the hole in the wall, so it's fine. But your doors don't lock when they close. Even Nez, your door on your penthouse Does not lock. You all seem to be free to roam about the castle, though the guards are still trying to figure out how the door was removed off of its pins and where the person who did it went. But as you all separate, you all rest for the first time in a long time, without fear of harm, without fear of lack of food, of sustenance, of danger. And you all just do your own thing for the time being as we wrap the session up, setting the stage for what may come next. As now you have the Pandora's box and a queen willing to have it repaired under her roof. And that maybe, just maybe, this may be the weapon against the gods you require. Because right now there's only one way to kill a god. And it's by taking off their head with the crucible of sin. And that is where we will end our session for tonight. Thank you all for participating in this Mind's Eye Theater. This session was a little bit slower, a little bit more of a slow burn, but that's what happens. We got to have the nice build-up episodes to kind of get everything into the hard and fast parts of it, of getting through more action and such. I see us going probably to episode 60 to 80, depending on the situation that's going here, before everything comes to a finale. And we'll kind of see where that goes. So we'll probably hit the 2-year mark before we finish up, which will be monumentous for everyone here. But yeah, so that's all I have for here. Let's kind of skip the breakdown tonight because we're all kind of all over the place. There's a lot of role play. And we'll just kind of skip into doing the final closeouts, letting everyone go home, go to sleep, etc. And we'll see you all next time. Oh, decision time. Because I want to try and get you guys through this story, because there's a lot of shit to do before the end of it. If everyone is still good at doing it every week, we can do that. It's okay if you wind up having to miss one. The reason I was doing every other week was to make it so that we had less people missing it. But if it's something that we want to do every other week, that means we can probably get to the finale sooner, and that we can kind of wrap this whole thing up in a nice bow, possibly move on to a new campaign, possibly move on to a new story. I got a couple of things in the works, I'll leave that up to y'all. I'll let you guys meander on it. I know what your votes are currently in the Discord. And so I'm leaning towards doing it every week because I don't think that'd be too bad. Just to kind of get everything pushing forward. And if anyone has to step out, you step out. That just gives it a little more time to do things. But we're not going to make any decisions yet. We'll probably talk again midweek next week, see how everyone's feeling about it, see how we want to do it. If we want to push forward doing it every week, we'll start next week. Otherwise, we'll keep with a regular schedule. Because what's going to wind up probably happening is once I finish writing this Curse of Strahd campaign, or at least the first arc of it, that's going to wind up being my Saturday slot. That's going to be weekly, more than likely. I have to double check with some of the other players, make sure what their schedule is, because it's going to be a whole batch of new players for me. There's no repeats in this group, which is going to be very interesting.
Looking forward.
That'll be fun.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting.
Also, and I realize it's probably obvious, but I'm clarifying just to be sure before I press the button. I can press the long rest button now, right?
Yes, you can press the long rest button. You will all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Everyone except the Darian. Everyone except the Darian gets a long rest.
Everyone except the Darian who asked. God.
The Darian only gets a short rest.
He doesn't even get a short rest.
He gets an hour of uninterrupted book reading and then tosses and turns for 7 hours.
Exactly. There we go.
No, everyone gets the benefit of a short rest. And then next session, whether it's next Friday or the Friday after, we'll decide next week about Tuesday, Wednesday, come to a consensus, and then we'll go from there. And then I'm hoping to finish everything up for the other campaign, hoping before the end of May, because I need to finish editing this fucking book. So I'm going to be doing 2 writing things at once, which is a lot for my brain.
Because I think as it stands right now, based on the votes on Discord, I'm the only one that said no to every week.
I'm good for either way.
I'm good.
So if I'm the only one that said no and it's okay to miss a couple sessions if my roommate decides to go out, I'm fine doing it every week.
Put it this way: whatever is best for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, we can do it every week, and it's okay if anyone has to miss anything. Thank you, Cass, for just blowing up my ears. I appreciate that. But yeah, it'll be fine if anyone missed anything, because we're gonna be pushing through it. If it's anything that is going to be an important session, and you know you're gonna miss it, or if you want to miss it because something comes up, your friends want to go out, you want to go do whatever, you want to take a really long shit and take a sleep, whatever fucking floats your boat, reach out to me, ask me, be like, hey, this session coming up, are we doing anything super important? Is there anything super heavy planned? I'll give you a yes, no. Or if it's like, oh, I'll be gone for the first hour, I'll be like, that's fine. Just reach out to me if you are going to miss it, and I can kind of catch you up, drop you the VOD, whatever. But that's all I have. We'll talk more next week with the players, and then I'll finish writing up the Strahd stuff. I'll get the rest of the players for that together, get them going, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll probably wind up dropping to streaming 2 days a week, which will be Friday, Saturday, minus the Monday shit I do with Cass. So that's all I have for now. Let's find us a nice little target for rating. Oh, well, before we go, we gotta do the fucking breakout. So thank you again, once again, for everyone being here. Well, my players and viewers alike. I am Grim Hour Productions, also known as Burn, also known as Dungeon Daddy, also known as the Storyteller, the Weaver of Tales. I am Dungeon Master 20 years, and I love doing this shit because it lets me write, it lets me put things together, it lets me run people through role play, give them some weird shit to play with and kind of do, like moral conflicts of what do we keep the pocket nuke or do we get rid of it? Who's to say? We'll find out on the next episode. But of course, I can't do this without having my wonderful players here to do this with, which of course is done by first our Tiefling Paladin, Mr. Creed, the Watch Commander of the Ravenholm Keep underneath the War Master Leandros, played by Mr. Blackburn.
Of course.
We then, of course, have Darian, our newest Yuan-Ti Combat Medic Warlock, played by our dear friend Zoe.
Was I muted? Hi.
Then we have, of course, the Druid Sea Elf Aura, played by our friend Jenna.
Hi.
We have Nez, the Artificer Changeling, played by our dear friend Stealth Rage 7, which you can follow him on Twitch. If he's not dying currently, he can answer.
Yeah. Oh, did that not go through?
No, not at all.
I adjusted, because I moved my mic, I adjusted, the sound gate. Hey, yo.
And then last, but certainly not least, our dear friend Okros, the Lionfolk Barbarian, the Smasher of Walls, and the Eater of Sheeps, played by our dear friend Tyrannosaurus Rexus.
Hello.
And with that, thank you all for being here. We're going to find ourselves a nice little person to raid out to who is doing fun shit this evening. It's probably not going to be D&D related, and that's okay. We're going to find something fun for you to jump into that you can either go watch the funny, laugh with the haha, or just kind of exist.
Hell yeah.
So it looks like there actually is a pretty interesting. Let me see what they're doing. This Fantasy Forge group. What y'all doing in here? Yeah, we're gonna go jump to these guys. They look like they're doing a hex-based Everlast game, which is pretty interesting. Looks like they're doing some airship raids, which, you know, I'm always down for some weird homebrew shit. Yeah, Cass keeps a notebook of these. That's an easy question. But thank you all for being here, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Bye.
Bye.